when I was a child, I did not like Indian classical music at all. Somehow I fell in love. Its depth, its the knowledge, the enjoyment, eternal peace you can have through this music.
I can do yoga all day long, but my sitting meditation, it doesn't work very well for me. When I play, it's like I'm trying to connect to something bigger than myself. I'm trying to synchronize, my own soul with the soul of the raga. And so I go outside myself, I forget myself, the thoughts go away, and I kind of feel like I'm connecting with this infinite universe outside myself. And there's a joy really, I can't buy it. I can't give somebody $1 million and say, give me this feeling. It only comes from here.
Our music is not meant for just external consumption. It is supposed to travel deeper and touch the soul, where the listener forgets himself, overcomes his own personality, and sometimes even his physical senses cease to function. And we get into a state of supreme bliss or anand, as opposed to sheer joy or thrill, which are transitory. And it is for this reason that when we get affected by our music, we don't shout, shriek, or dance in excitement, but we get dumb and start crying.
In fact, these deeply personal experiences with music take us all the way back to ancient India, where sages in meditation reflected on the nature of sound itself, its power, and its depth. Nada, as cosmic sound, was viewed as the cause of material creation, as well as a substance within the depths of our souls. The discipline of Nada Yoga teaches us that sound is not merely out there as an object, but in fact is part of our innermost being and can be used as a means to transform our lives and to achieve peace and happiness.
Indian classical music is one of the oldest traditions of art music in the world. It can be traced back to the times of Indus Valley civilization, which is said to be 5,000 years old.
A bow-shaped harp with strings and many percussion instruments were discovered in the ruins of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Also found were terracotta seals, sculptures, and artifacts, all of which allude to the practice of music and dance thousands of years ago. The art music of the subcontinent is enshrined in two main texts known as the Natya Shastra and the Dattilam. These date from about 300 BC and are described as the oldest available music textbooks in the world.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Around the 7th century, as music spread beyond the priestly domain of the Sanskrit language, it acquired Deshi Bhasha and Deshi Gan, that is, vernacular dialect and folk melodic elements, without losing a bit of its integrity and its sacred origins. Now, this is a very important point. The Indian musical tradition is one of the very few in the world which spans the entire continuum from the folk to the higher art. As such, it is non-sectarian and it is non-denominational. It has attracted great musicians from all religious backgrounds.
In its inherent character and ethos, our art music is spiritual and meditative. In fact, all traditionally created endeavors of the Indian subcontinent contained a hidden agenda. Almost every art in the land has been directed towards transforming the human being. It is believed in our tradition that if art does not transform the practitioner, it is merely mechanical. It is for this reason that nowhere in this music do we find an indication to show that the art was ever intended to please or entertain the listener. That is why our art, in a sense, has always remained solo. There is no attempt to overpower the senses by volume and force or by orchestration.
Musicologists estimate that a bifurcation in the tradition developed between the 10th and 13th centuries. The result is what we know today as the North Indian or Hindustani and the South Indian or Carnatic music systems. It is widely accepted that the centuries of Muslim presence in the north contributed to this difference in traditions. The Hindustani system, which is our focus, was greatly influenced by the Persian, Arabic, and Turkish cultures. Today, this tradition can be found beyond the borders of India, thriving in centers around the world, especially in Europe and in North America.
This all started mid-60s. John Coltrane, Mickey Hart, then George Harrison. All these musicians, got exposed to this world of Indian music, and primarily because of the contribution of Pandit Ravi Shankarji and Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. The Monterey Festival was actually a landmark event in many ways because that was the first time that Indian classical music was ever showcased in front of such a huge audience.
Let's distinguish the Indian classical tradition from its Western counterpart in two fundamental ways.
Firstly, Indian classical music is a totally monadic or monophonic system. We only hear one note at a time or render the notes in sequence and not simultaneously. Therefore, our system does not accommodate harmony or chords in its fold. As such, our music is essentially solo. Even duet performances are complementary to each other and, in a sense, remain solo renderings. Secondly, all notes in Indian classical music are identified not on the basis of a fixed pitch like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, but as solfa syllables as sa re ga ma pa dha ni. Scales are determined in relation to the tonic sa. tonic sa can be moved anywhere on the pitch spectrum according to the convenience of the artist. Once selected, however, tonic sa remains fixed during that rendering. There is no role of a composer in our music in the sense known to the West. The only written piece may be the lyrics of the song that take just a minute or two. Training and hard work give the practitioner abilities, but as a performer, he has to create his music instantly. In addition to being a singer, he also has to discharge the role of an architect who designs his musical structure step by step, giving it a complete and beautiful shape.
This music is not written down. Instant improvisation is a requirement in every performance. The only way that the delicate nuances and complexities can be preserved is by being transferred orally, which occurs through a centuries-old tradition known as the Guru Shishya Parampara. The essence of Indian classical music is raga, which means color or passion. The present system stands on two pillars, raga and tala. Raga is the melodic form, while tala is the rhythm underlying the music. As we begin to understand the components of the melodic framework, the raga starts to feel accessible.
Many of us believe that raga is a matter of notes and some rules. Yes, it is. But it is also a run of colors, of feelings, of rasa, a spark of life which sleeps in it and wakens every time it is sung or played. It is a living thing, and without life, raga does not exist. You can call it a mode or a melody, but not a raga. Raga is a personal statement. It first happens in the mind and the spirit of the singer, and it is from there that it speaks. It is not enough to rely on the rules of the rag making to understand its true spirit. Virtuosity, skills, and speed are good exercises and praiseworthy, but not necessarily required to create the real spirit of the raga. Grammatical acrobatics, speed, and virtuosity cannot bring the rasa. Perfection in skills is necessary, but that's what brings you back to simplicity, and you create from there. Without the rasa, the musician is ineffective. If you make the study of music a routine or rigid from a syllabus and follow it up with examinations, it doesn't work. And what is also important is that the training should be from one guru for a prolonged period. It is for this reason that I insisted with our donors, ITC Limited, that in this institution I'll have no syllabus, no examinations, no degrees or diplomas, and I will not interfere with the training routine or method of the gurus. Leave it to them.
ये विद्या ही ऐसी है, और वैसी तो 40-45 तक तो उसका ये भी नहीं होता है. सीखना एक बात होता है, उसके ऊपर खुद को मनन चिंतन करना पड़ता है. और एक खुद की स्टाइल तैयार करना चाहिए, तब जाके कलाकार बनता है।
Vijay Kichlu institutionalized the ancient Guru Shishya Parampara in modern India, and the resident teachers, scholars, and staff express an unabashed love for their founder.
Rhythm can be traced in any movement, provided it is systematic and has a pattern. This can be found in nature or any animal movement. The legendary Indian vocalist Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan was often found sitting at Chowpatty Sea Beach at Bombay, watching waves and composing tans on the patterns the waves were creating.
The two most unique characteristics of Indian rhythm are its language or vocabulary and the rhythmic cycle or the tala. Let's first hear the language.
We would begin the training process by vocalizing the phrases with hand gestures, skipping the time cycle by hand. These are young kids between the age of 6 and 9 who are trained in this process, in this tradition. The phrases ta, ka, di, mi. 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 Ta, di, mi, ta, ka, di, mi. Ta, di, mi, ta, ka, di, mi. Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, di, mi. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, di, mi. Ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta, ta, ki, ta. And now there are fixed compositions that a student is supposed to learn first, vocalize it with the expression, adding emotions to it, and then he has to transform that emotion through his hands in the drums. So we will first recite a fixed composition in the time cycle of 16 beats. We call it a tukra. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Din din tete tete gege tete gadi ghanna takete dha nidha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha. 2, 3, 4. Din din tete tete gege tete gadi genne takete dha nidha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha tete kata gadi genne dha kata dha. Kat tete 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 dha dha din din nana nana kata kata te dha te dha te dha. Kata kata te dha te dha te dha. Kata kata te dha te dha te dha. 2, 3, 4. Dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit. Dhatar ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit. Shabash, bahut अच्छा. Wah. Dhatar ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit tak tak ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit dhatar ganit
The instrument known as tabla, as you see, has two drums. The left, which we call baya, which in Hindi language literally means left. The right is called tabla. Now, Baya, the left, has its own strokes, which has its own language. The right has its own strokes, which has its language. But then there are combined strokes also, and the combined strokes have different syllables altogether.
The left hand basically would have a flat sound, which is the kat, and then the open sound, which is the ghe or ghen. And on the right hand side, we have several other strokes like na, then tin, then thun, then te, then te te, then dhire dhire. And combined with both hands, we have dha, which is the major stroke, then dhin. And with the right hand hand, we also have a stroke, we call it din. And then we combine these strokes to form a phrase. As in, dha tere kete tak, we go. We say, thunna kete tak. This is what it is.
Can we have a composition now where you will explain the language as well as the strokes?
Kradhin dha, dhin dhin dha dha, thin thin na, trek dhin dhin na, kata ge getete, kata kata ge genana, kata kata ge ketete, kata kata ge genana, kata kata ge kata kata ge genana, kata kata ge ketete, kata kata ge genana, kata.
All music is composed and executed on a time dimension universally. In Indian classical music, time management has been considered with great precision and depth. In fact, a significant part of the greatness of Indian classical music lies in the heights to which rhythm management has been refined.
There's the first repetition, where you don't even realize that the tabla player is starting a tihai. Then the second one starts, and you realize, oh, okay, that's the same thing he just played. This is going somewhere. And then the third one, and you hear the melodic instrument approaching the sum, and the third repetition approaching the sum. And it's so exciting because they're coming together. That device of the tihai has always gripped me in my body, in my mind, and my heart.
In our tradition, listener is a very important part of the performance. His ability to react to the performer's chain of thoughts encourages the performer and enhances the level of his performance. Our art is so vast that we believe that one lifetime is not enough to acquire all the knowledge. We musicians always believe that a complete musician is made probably in 3 lives. I can never forget an incident when Ustad Fayaz Khan Sahab was performing in a hall, and as usual, as always, he had the entire audience spellbound within half an hour. And suddenly, he put both his hands on the tanpuras playing behind him, and they stopped. Everybody felt as if they fell down to the ground again. He said, देखिए साहब, गाने बजाने का एक देवता होता है. पुराने ज़माने में ऋषि मुनि 400-500 साल की उम्र के होते थे, तो इस देवता को कंट्रोल करते थे. हम क्या गाएंगे, हम क्या कंट्रोल करेंगे? अब लगता है कि इतना सा कंट्रोल में आया है और हमारा एक पैर कब्र में है. It was so touching. Well, that is in fact the reality. Not everybody knows that Mia Tansen, the legendary singer and the court musician of Emperor Akbar, was originally a Hindu. Once Emperor Akbar happened to ask him, Tansen, you are such a great singer. Your guru, Swami Haridas, must be a great singer too. And he said, my lord, he is the greatest. And Emperor immediately said, can't I listen to him? Won't you bring him here? He said, no, he will never come here because he will not sing for you. You'll have to come with me to where he lives, which is in jungles, and he lived in a cottage. And he said, you will have to be there incognito because he should not know that Emperor Akbar has come there. The emperor agreed. He went there, and Tansen made him listen to his guru, Swami Haridas, from a distance. And within a short time, Akbar was absolutely floored. That kind of music he had never heard before. So they returned, and Emperor Akbar asked him, Tansen, you are a great singer. Your guru is such a great singer. Why can't you sing like him? And he said, Jahanpana, my lord, because I sing for you and he sings for God.